Hi friends, Shay Vetterman here, body worker, energy worker, and flow goddess. I am here to share with you some somatic exercises for low back and pelvis, bringing conscious awareness to our bodies, to how they move through space. As we gain conscious awareness, we are able to become more fully embodied in this physical experience, which opens up our ability to become mentally and emotionally conscious as well. This, over time, we have learned and been conditioned to be disconnected from our bodies. So I consider these exercises revolutionary. I consider them radical. This process of becoming more intimate with your own physical experience is an act of resistance, reclaiming our sovereignty, reclaiming our bodies, that which cannot be taken away. So it is specifically for low back and pelvis, and these exercises are derived from Thomas Hanna's book, Somatics, Reawakening the Mind's Control of Movement, Flexibility, and Health. He is a pioneer in the field of somatic, in somatics, and offers us these very simple exercises that are super effective. So let's get started. We are going to begin with a pelvic tilt, and I will have you join me on the floor, lying on your backs with your feet on the ground. Sorry if this angle is awkward. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, so first, as we find ourselves in this position, take a moment to just connect with your body here. So feeling your feet and feeling their connection with the ground, feeling your knees position in relationship to your feet, your thighs, and where they attach to your hips and pelvis, and feeling your pelvis, your low back, your SI joint, that very tip of your tailbone, noticing where it is in connection with the earth. So maybe there's some movement there. Maybe there's a tilt or a flatness that feels better. Allow your body to just find its best resting place. Noticing your low back. Maybe you recognize an arch, or maybe you feel flat against the ground. And then checking in with your rib cage and how it rests in relationship with your pelvis. Maybe it feels arched and extended. Again, maybe it feels flat or concave. Just noticing without judgment and allowing, hey kitty, allowing your body to find its comfortable resting place. Next, checking in with your shoulders and their positioning. Hi, babe. You gotta move. We might have a visitor that I have to allow to leave. Your shoulders and your chest. Are your shoulder blades flat against the ground? Are they raised up? Are they tucked under? Finding a place where they feel comfortable. And checking in with your neck and your head. Is your neck tight? Does it feel loose? So here we are in our resting position. And this exercise will have a breath involved and a movement. And the breath will be an inhale as we arch our back, and an exhale as we lower our back to the ground. We inhale and arch, and exhale and lower. I want you to continue this movement, and keep in mind that the slower that we practice this, the more conscious awareness we can bring to the movement and to the different areas of our body that are involved with this movement. So we do not live in isolation. Our bodies, our muscles are not in isolation. And so these practices help us remember that. Because I'd like you to notice that as you exhale and lower your back to the ground, your pelvis naturally tilts and your tailbone tucks. As you arch and inhale, you might notice that your rib cage raises, that your shoulders do something, check in, that your head and neck might actually be pushing into the ground. Check in with the different areas, allowing or inviting them to practice relaxation within this movement. Again, as we lower our back to the ground, our pelvis might lift a bit, our tailbone might tuck towards the sky, and we might feel the tops of our thighs engaging. We might feel our lower abdominal area engaging. We might feel some pressure in the bottoms of our feet. And as we inhale and arch, checking in with your arms, are they gripping towards the earth or are they relaxed? As we exhale and lower our back, that rocking movement in the pelvis. And continue this exercise, noticing the flow that it introduces to the body. Noticing the head to foot movement that might be inspired. Simply with this intention of inhaling with our abdomen arched and exhaling with our back flattening. Again, inviting all areas of the body to participate in this movement and to not grip or resist whatever that natural flow might be. Exhaling back down. And as we inhale and arch our back, you might find that you notice a pulling along your spine, your upper back, a pulling that ends up tucking your chin down and in. And as we exhale and flatten, you might notice an extension that happens as your spine flattens and your head and neck and chin might be tipping backwards. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. So for those of you that might have low back tension, this exercise is awakening the neurology, awakening the firing patterns of your low back muscles, your hip muscles, your hip flexors, and suggesting to them this gentle contraction and full relaxation. Oftentimes, these muscles find themselves in constant contraction to hold ourselves in space against gravity and in these repetitive positions or injury response patterns that happen. So we are allowing the body to experience full contraction and relaxation. And you might notice that as we inhale and arch, the muscles of the low back might flex. You might feel them activating. And as you exhale, allowing those low back, those back muscles to relax and come out of contraction. As you continue to tuck, you might notice the front of your body, the lower abdominals contracting and activating to support this movement. This concept of alternating or opposing muscle groups, supporting each other in balance of contraction and relaxation, is a pattern that is found throughout the body. Continue your movements, slow and gentle, with a loose goal of experiencing a smooth flow. There might be some catching that you notice, either in your breath and in your body, where you feel a little jerky in these movements. Just gently attempting to smooth out this muscular cascade, this cascade of connective tissue involvement, this cascade of inner fluid, our blood, our interstitial fluid, the fluid within our organs that are moving in this wave-like pattern. And of course, if you find any pain with these movements, don't do them. If you find discomfort, you get to decide whether or not you can curiously lean into that discomfort, allowing yourself to envision expansion around areas of tension. As we visualize expansion around these areas of tension, the body responds by actually allowing space around these areas of constriction. Allowing them to release and let go. And wherever you are in your flow, practicing one more inhale and arch and one more exhale and flatten. And taking a moment to resettle into this rest position. Maybe tracking your knees gently to the left and the right. And noticing where in your legs you hold, where in the pelvis you're still holding. Noticing again your feet on the floor, reminding your body and yourself that you're stabilized. Noticing that low back and whatever arch or lack thereof feels comfortable in your body at this moment. Checking in with that rib cage and its position in relationship to the pelvis and the low back and the floor. Checking in again with the upper back, the shoulder blades, and the chest. Checking in with the neck and the head. Noticing the pressure of your head against the earth. And if you find yourself pressing in with your head and neck, or if there's some fluidity there, And checking in with your arms, whether there's any gripping or forcing them into the ground, or if they're relaxed, open at your sides. And taking a few breaths in this relaxed rest position. So this exercise, as you see, is quite gentle and organic. And while it is certainly about practicing sensing into our full experience and how all of the areas of the body are connected with feeling that with this arch and relaxation, with this flow. It is also about creating space in the vertebrae of the low back. As you flatten and tilt the pelvis, the vertebrae that are naturally maybe in this arched position, potentially in an exaggerated arched position, as many of us have an anteriorly tipped pelvis where our butt's extended and our chest is out and open. As we flatten the back against the ground and tuck that pelvis, it creates space in the vertebrae of the lower spine. And this allows for fluid, nourishing fluid, spinal fluid, blood, and again, that interstitial fluid, the fluid that is part of our fascia, that connective tissue that is our netting that holds us together. So it allows a pump-like action where that fluid can nourish that space of those low back muscles. Tipping the pelvis forward also helps bring that suggestion to a habitually anteriorly tipped pelvis. My shirt should be a little tighter for this. And tucking and flattening suggests the pelvis in a more maybe healthy posture that can help prevent low back pain. So there's lots of mechanics that go into this, but we aren't a machine. So it more than anything is helping you connect with the wholeness of your physical experience, allowing you more freedom. Yeah. Freedom of movement, permission to feel the fullness, head to toe, of your body in motion. Exercise is often, or even corrective postural exercises are often about isolating and doing movements. And that can be very beautiful and helpful. But I feel as though because we have such a disconnection with ourselves as a whole, it's almost reinforcing that same concept. My shoulder hurts, so I better do shoulder exercises. Well, that, again, very helpful, and I teach those. But understanding our shoulder in relationship to our chest, to our upper back, to our mid back, to our neck, to our low back and pelvis can help us integrate those isolated exercises more appropriately. I love you all. Thank you for joining me this morning with our pelvic tilt and with our wave-like flow motion. May you all flow with ease throughout your day. Blessings. Again, it's Shay Vetterman here. And if for more videos, more information about the somatic-based body work and energy work that I provide, you can visit me at www.eatmyheart.net. Love to you. Bye, y'all.